Okay, so namaste everyone. Thank you for joining in this conversation with Sri L.R. Vishwanath sir on the topic of Kali, time, and Jyotisha. So just I'm immensely grateful that sir has agreed to bless this occasion with his knowledge on spirituality and on the great mother Kali. Just as an introduction, Lalita Kutir Ramashesh Vishwanath is a spiritual seeker. He is a player of the Lalita Veena, which is very, very unique. Of course, people don't have much information on it. He is a Lal Kitab practitioner of Jyotish or astrology. He is also a music therapist and also a former civil servant. So he has two books published on Amazon Kindle, namely Musical Therapies and Ear Training in Music the Indian Way. He is married to another eminent musician, Sangeet Ratna, Srimati Hanumati Vishwanathji, and has twin daughters, Akshaya Bibhu, who is a student of medicine and is also a vocalist and a keyboard player, and Amrita Bibhu, who is a student of aerospace engineering and also a drummer. So Vishwanathji and his family, they live in the holy abode of Mother Kamakhya Kali at Guwahati, and his last position was as the Director General of the Press Information Bureau under the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. So I take this opportunity on behalf of Jyotish 108 to welcome you, sir, to this discussion on Kali, time, and Jyotisha as you have taken this topic up. I'll hand over the dais to Vishwanathji. And I thank you once again, sir, for your immense grace, and hopefully we will have more associations beginning from today. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Devrishiji. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can.
It has been a very pleasant experience ever since I have had association with you. Almost, I think, a year by now.
Yes, sir, more than a year.
And I keep seeing your posts on the Facebook. You are so quick, and you are also what to call it, a bit concerned about humanity. Like you talk about the Vara and the Devata, or the deities in astrology, or how people perform Shraddha during especially the Mahalaya Paksha, but at the same time, you have been giving them subtle messages, how to bring more quality into those things. Well, it has been a bliss in your association, because whenever you interacted with me, we had talked about either Kali or Tara or Ugra Tara or some of the propitiations to please planets across the board. So this topic of Kali, time, and Jyotish Shastra, there was no provocation. There was no reflection. There was no deliberation. There was no contemplation. It just came on the spot. I think you called up late in the night and you said, I have this Jyotish 108 channel. I want to do a session. And I think as though it was preordained by the goddess, Pat came, yes, Kali, time, and Jyotish Shastra. Though I have never spoken on this subject before. This is a maiden debut for me. And I have been contemplating, meditating, trying to reach the lotus feet of the goddess to find out what is to be outlined in this. And all our friends who have joined this Zoom conference, they're all knowledgeable in one or the other aspect of either Jyotish Shastra or Dasha Mahavidya or Mother Kali herself. Therefore, I think I am talking to an enlightened audience led by you. And it's very interesting because there is nothing one can prepare on this subject. One can only meander in a course like River Ganga, which is coming from Gaumukh and Gangotri and going down, meandering, making its way till it reaches the plains through the foothills. Nobody chalked the course of the Ganges. In fact, the way the Ganga went, people are studying its course. It is the other way around. Similarly, in music also, which is one of my passions, because it's a very crazy kind of a lifestyle. From the age of 5 to the age of 27, 28, I was playing only Carnatic music, South Indian music. But my ear developed for North Indian music for very long because I was born and brought up in Kolkata. I was very familiar to the Dover Lane Conference and various nuances of Hindustani music in the city. We had the legendary Ali Akbar Khan Sahib, his family. And we even had people like Ustad Bismillah Khan Sahib, Ustad Vilayat Khan Sahib coming and playing there. It's a very freakish kind of a place where one used to get a roadside chai sitting on a bench very close to a flowing dala at 10 paisa on Kullad. And just across the road when he went to the Dover Lane Conference, you could listen to Padma Vibhushans and the greatest of greats. So it is a coexistence of duality. The high and mighty and the lowly. The famous and the pedestrian. The profane and the most ordinary. And this is precisely what Mother Kali implores her devotee to eschew. All pair of opposites, Raga and Dvesha. That is the greatest because Raga and Dvesha make 99% of our life. We have either some reason to love somebody, adore somebody, or some other reason not to like somebody. Create a kind of remorse or friendly animosity towards people. And overcoming the pair of opposites is the crux of Kali Vidya. I am not a great exponent of Kali Vidya either. I'm still a seeker walking across. I have been walking across for 62 years now, out of which I was born in Kalighat area in Kolkata. And my proximity and interest in Kali started when I was about 13, 14, independently. Before that, we used to go with the family, offer milk on every Friday at the lotus feet of Lord Shiva. Shiva is at the lotus feet of Mother Kali. Shiva's feet, of course, is there, but the irony is in Mother Kali's lotus feet, we human beings have no space because it has been taken away by the Lord of the three worlds. With other deities, you may say that, yes, I am at your lotus feet. Give me refuge. Here, even if we ask, it will be difficult for the mother to give us refuge solely because the Lord is lying there with serpent and damru, jata, and all his various insignia. So for us to get a place, we'll have to find it ourselves. But from the age of 13, 14, we were going to the Kali temple as a group of youngsters on Saturday evenings, more for fun because it was walking 3, 4, 5 miles, not kilometers. And they used to have chai on the way. We were so much ignorant or so much indifferent to Shastras that people generally say that you go to a temple, clean, have a bath, put sacred ashes or bindi, fragrance, and we go to the temple in a very pristine, pure manner. But here we were a group of people. In between, we used to halt at a saloon, make our beards, look at the mirror, but it is not with any cause, but just flowing. One didn't know whether it was right or wrong. It went on like that. But as you entered the sanctum sanctorum of the Kali temple, that is Kolkata or anywhere, because Kali cuts across the barrier of time and space. Today we have taken the topic of Kali, time and Jyotisha. But rather it's Kali, time, space and causation. In a way, time is already there in our topic. And causation is there in astrology, Jyotish Shastra, and space is Kali herself, the eternal cosmos, whom Ramakrishna Dev said that it was so all-pervading that I lost consciousness. Everything was just open, empty space. Then every Kali temple, wherever you go, and if you are in tune with her, you will have horriculations in your body, goosebumps, and you will be accelerating. Later on, why I am connecting my life along with this topic is there are a lot of things that I have looked at as a passerby. I am not involved when I am narrating this to you because I have seen my life. In one life, I have lived several janmas. The incarnation or reincarnation theory is on one side. But we all human beings, we exhaust several janmas in one janma, physical body wise, but karmic wise, karma wise, and in terms of our tapasya, our austerity, we would have finished several janmas which are lying unfinished. There's always an example, karma versus free will. If you look at a nail in a wall, which has gone deeply inside, that is what is destiny, karma. Now, if you want to pluck out that nail with the right kind of instrument, or we call it plus in common language, you want to pull the nail out. Now, the amount of force required to pull that nail out should be more than what the amount of force was required to either hit or screw the nail inside. So, if the number of hammer strings it got was, say, 40, you should require at least 41 or 42 or 43. But we don't know with what force the person who hit it used the hammer. And we are now trying to use a force to remove that nail without knowing the power of the variable which is already working. In a way, we are groping in the dark. We have no anecdotal experience. We have no memory, no data. We are totally lost and we are trying to pull out the nail. That is free will. The nail went inside is karma. But if we persist and show our power, very soon the nail will be out. It cannot withstand the power of free will. Therefore, in this topic of Kali, time, and Jyotisha Shastra, Kali is one extreme. Kali could be male, Kali could be female, Kali could be neutral in gender. It could be he, it could be she, it could be it. How we will discuss after a few minutes. Many of you should be knowing it. Still, I'll try to recapitulate. Jyotisha Shastra is a profound vidya. People call it art, people call it science, people call it ritual, people call it symbol. We are not going into all that. Vidya means it is knowledge, and a knowledge which gives you the power to alter the course of action so that you can alter the destiny itself from one of being sorrow and adverse to one of being favorable and positive. That is Jyotisha Vidya. That is why in the ancient text it is said that a place, olden days were identified as villages. A place which is not inhabited by at least one Jyotishi, that place is condemned. There is no point living there. The question is how and why. We will come to that. But the link between Kali and Jyotisha Vidya is in our topic of today's time. Time. Time is a link. But why time? Where was the need for me to propose and Devrishiji to accept all within a spot, within a second? No second thoughts, no expert opinion. Because time is something with which all of us have to relate. We relate. Many of us relate without knowing. Most of us don't know about the passage of time. We know, yes, it's 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock is siesta time. 1 o'clock was lunch time. 4 o'clock is afternoon nap finish, have a cup of tea or coffee, and then start work. This is the kind of time unit that we are used to, or in many cases, not all. But time has a specific purpose. It stops for none. Normally, it goes in a forward direction, unidirection. But many of the physicists have been opining that time can go backwards. If there is entropy, too much of chaos, when there is too much of chaos and disorder, time becomes more than one dimension. It can go backward also. You can just see like ordinary course. When our life, anybody, some things go wrong, things don't yield result the way we want. There is negative response. We think of something, but something else happens. Sometimes it is so frightening. Sometimes the results are so negative. Then actually we are in a chaotic situation. There's a wonderful book called Order Out of Chaos. It is said it is observed also in science that there is an order in every chaos. A chaos cannot be flowing. A chaos is created which leads to a higher level equilibrium out of which an order emerges and that order sustains. After a while, that order is demolished, a chaos emerges, you are on a higher pedestal, higher equilibrium, there is another order out of disorder. There cannot be order, there cannot be peace all the time. There cannot be equilibrium all the time. Even if you go to a still water pond and watch for some time, there are no waves, there is no provocation, water is still. Even after that, there is a movement. Some bubbles happen, some mini waves, some in some corner, maybe because one big fish was swimming or a huge frog jumped from the banks to the water, or whatever. Ripples are always created, which means there is always stimulus. Nothing can be still. And when there is a stimulus, there has to be a response. There cannot be stimulus without a response. That's why action and reaction, they have some connection. Now, what we are concerned about, we are not talking about Einstein's law of theory of relativity, special, general. We want to know how this time can help us in our own overcoming of adverse situation. Because we are concerned about Jyotish Shastra on one side, Mahakali on the other side, and time, which is a link, forward and backward linkages between these two destinations. Now, the moment we are into disorder, the moment we are into chaos, we say, if we believe in astrology, people don't, those who don't believe, for them everything is fine and they can take different options till such time they come to astrology for whatever good reason, and then they also take advantage out of it. There is no sacrosanct law that you should believe in astrology or you should be a believer. Human beings are free, and the democratic nomenclature, I'm not talking in terms of constitution or any law. Democracy means where you can exercise free will. I think within yourself, within your decision making, for all your options, the paths that you choose, that is where democracy has to be there. If you are not having democracy in your own life, practicing democracy elsewhere has no meaning. Therefore, sometimes people take to astrology at an early age. Sometimes they take at a late age. Some people don't go to astrology at all. Rather, they will say that this is all superstitious, useless science. Everybody is free to hold his or her opinion, because if you are giving free will, you should not interfere in the thinking process of people. Thinking process has to come from within, not imposed from outside. Then those who take to the records of astrology, Jyotish Shastra, they will first say, or they will go to an astrologer like Dev Rishiji or any other person. Sir, I am having a bad time. You see how it is used. My time is not good, sir. Some problem is there. Kindly look into it. Tell me what is to be done. Now, what is its time? There was a time of birth, date of birth, place of birth. If you reduce into arithmetic, longitude, latitude, direction, date, time, it's only quantity. There are no attributes. X is born on a particular time. You can't say X is a very good time, very bad time. Birth happens. And birth is accidental. No birth can be planned. One can book a cesarean doctor and hospital and operation theater, but whether the baby will be delivered at that chosen time is the higher will, whether we call it God or nature or mother. That means, in real terms, astrology is all mathematics. It's all figures. So what we do is, from a given quality, say we call it Mr. So-and-so, born on so-and-so date, so-and-so time, so-and-so place, reduce all that into arithmetical or mathematical variables. From there, we do readings. We make a natal chart, Lagna chart. We make a Rashi chart. We make a Dasha, Antardasha, Pratyantardasha, Sukshma Pratyantardasha. Oh my God, there is no end, it's an ocean. Where will we go? Therefore, Jyotisha Shastra, wonderful thing. You have a bare minimum things. See how it magnifies and goes. First, what you say, the beginning, sabse pehle, the 12 zodiacs. Once you name the zodiacs, you have the owner of that house. Out of 12, we are all students of astrology. I did not go into detail. So 9 planets, Rahu and Ketu have no houses, they're shadows. They live on others' houses, they're parasites. Another 7 planets, 5 planets have 2 houses each, 10, and 1 for Surya and 1 for Moon. The zodiac is over. But that doesn't finish there. Now, if you say after zodiacs and after the owner of these zodiac houses, the next is nakshatra, 27, each having 4 parts, 27 into 4, 108. How they are positioned in the 12th house. Once you get nakshatra, then based on the placing of the moon in your natal chart, you get the nakshatra, and from there you get all the dasha bhukti, etc., etc. So from 3 variables basically, date, time, and place of birth, we can make a compendium of 100, 200, 10, 1000 pages of horoscopes, which may include dasha bhukti. Then we can have Trimshati, Vimshati, then we can have Hora Lagna, Gati Lagna. I'm just giving random examples. But the problem is, one tends to get lost in the myth and the maze of astrology that one is not able to do the remedy. What is the purpose of astrology? The purpose of astrology may be many. To predict whether Brahmaputra will rise above the shore level in the next 1 month, whether the deadly coronavirus will get eradicated at all by January 2022, whether Joe Biden will continue to be powerful even after this decision of Afghanistan, which people say it's controversial. Yes, you can have 100 options. Astrology has so many options and possibilities we cannot describe. But the primary purpose is give remedy to your immediate brethren, whether they are students, whether they are family children, whether they are outsiders. If your astrology is not able to give remedy, it is as good for nothing. Because you have a very powerful tool which you are not using for the desired cause. Astrology can be used as a tool. Astrology can be used as an end to study itself. But if you go to study end itself, it will be like the Pacific Ocean. You don't know the depth. The average depth is not in the middle, so you are drowned. If you give remedy, if you see streaks of smiles and laughters on a face which was crying before you, or which was in agony, don't you see it's a very big kick that you brought cheerful happiness in the face of somebody who was getting perturbed. And my personal experience, let me share with you. When you give a remedy properly and the person recovers from the situation, that person in the heart of hearts, whether he acknowledges or not, remembers you lifelong.
Right.
And remembers you so
Right.
much that at the time of crisis, which happens again for him or anybody, if he has no phone number of yours, if she has no contact of yours, she or he will go to a place where you were residing 20 years back and search where is that man who gave me remedy. You can see that. So let me also be very ambitious in sharing with you a detail, a postulate of all the professions in the world. Astrology is not termed as a profession. If you want to file a tax return, you may be earning crores of rupees, but you can't say I'm an astrologer because it is not identified there. Lawyer is identified, chartered accountant is identified, doctor is identified, computer software engineer is identified, but astrologer, no. But look at it the other way. It is the master of all professions. A lawyer, a doctor, a chartered accountant, a maid servant, everybody has to go to an astrologer one day or the other to seek a remedy from distress. Poor people come, they say, हम कहाँ जन्म हुए थे हमें पता, हम तो घोड़ा गाड़ी में जन्म लिया था, हमारा टाइम का कोई पता नहीं है, उन दिनों कुछ लिखता नहीं था लोग. But they also seek remedy because they think an astrologer can give some remedy. He has got a magical band. He has got some power by which he can give you relief. That makes the position of the astrologer 100 times more delicate and responsible, because if people trust you, that means you are in for a big stake. To shake the belief of the non-believers is also not good. You should not shake the belief of anybody who has come trusting in you. But if you shake the belief of the have-nots, of the people who come to you with surrender, people who have no other refuge, and if you take them for a ride, if you hoodwink them, you don't have to wait for a next janma to leave that karma. Immediately you will get the answer. Nobody has to wait for it. So, Kali, time, Jyotisha Shastra. Here, we are always concerned about time to usher in good times in the life of our people around us. What are good times? Good times are those where you are not troubled, you are not in distress, you are not in fear, and whether people accept it or not, a majority of people are troubled by inimical forces. Whether you call it external enemy or internal inimical forces, they are there, and people suffer because of it. We may not agree, we may not accept in public, but it's a fact. If you look at Devi Mahatmya, Durga Saptashati, there are 13 chapters, 700 shlokas, out of which 10 chapters are devoted to fighting, putting down of the evil forces by Mother Durga, Mother Chandika. Chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11 onwards, Stuti of the Devi starts. The Devas pay their obeisance to the Divine Mother. The Mother starts giving boons. That continues in chapter 12. And in chapter 13, the two people who came in distress to seek solution, Samadhi and Surat, the king and the pauper, both of them get their chosen destiny. So, and it is a real story. Durga Saptashiti is not a figment imagination of anybody. It is not a thought. Every year we watch the mother coming during Navratras. Ashwina Navratra is one. Shardiya Navratra. You have Vasanta Navratra. You have Ashada Navratra. You have Hima Navratra. That means the mother constantly comes, which means devotees are calling her. She openly says in Chandi that whenever you are in distress, I will come to protect you. Same thing the Lord Mahavishnu in his avatar said. Whenever there is adharma, whenever there is evil, I will come. The triumph of good and truth will prevail. So, if you are able to live a life peacefully, happily, without enmity. But then peacefulness and happiness will only come when you have substantial income, because once you are in the world, once you take janma, you have to perform karma, and from that you have to earn money, not only for you, but for your family and others. Mai bhi na bhuka rahun, sadhu na bhuka jaye. Without money, without income, you cannot survive in this world. But then one should also draw a line between legitimate earning and other ways which are not desirable. If you have enough money, if you have enough income, you can feed yourself, you can clothe yourself, you can take care of others, their needs, various expenses. And if you are able to sleep soundly, there is nobody threatening you that, tomorrow you come, I will see you in the street corner, or I will see how you can remain like this in this profession. These are all agonies. And one has to take care, protection against evil forces. And evil forces are here to stay. The janma and the karma and the life is basically we are all passerbys. We don't have a binocular because we can't see that, because we are watching our own life, how good and bad forces fight against each other. If we are intelligent enough to orchestrate our life through Jyotisha Vidya to overcome evil forces, bad time, and go towards good things, enlightenment, happiness, and all tangible good effects, then our life is made. Now, of this, there is always category. The first category is from light to light. A person is born very lucky, finds good finance, everything is good. And the person is going towards charity, piety, donating money, kind to people, empathetic. It's fantastic. He is born in a light family, that is positive circumstances, going towards even more positive. The second part is a person is born in darkness, poverty, or maybe not even poverty, low income, struggles. And from there, the person rises, does his or her own priority of life, and dedicates extra energy, whether in terms of money or labor, for welfare of his brethren. That is darkness to light. The third category is born in light, rich, comfortable, all the good things of life, but being spent in wrong directions. Intoxicants, going towards bad company. What is bad company? Whatever doesn't give you enlightenment, whatever doesn't take you towards your goals and retards you, is bad company. And the fourth category is born in darkness, going towards darkness. So we have to decide where we belong in these four category, and from wherever we are, we should try to put our pencil or pointer on the goal and reach towards it. For which Jyotisha Shastra and time, both are very important. Because suppose our Buddha Mahadasha is excellent, we are able to achieve a lot of things. We are able to reach our goals. 17 years, out of 17 years, at least 10 years was very good. In the last 10 years, so much things happened. But after Buddha, immediately after Buddha, Ketu came. And when Ketu came, the Ketu was bad in the horoscope. I think we all know that whatever planet, the way it is posited in the horoscope, it gives the same effect when its dasha comes. There are misconceptions in our society. People say, oh, Shukra Mahadasha, fantastic. You will rise like rocket. But if your Shukra is in the 9th house in your natal chart, there is no question of going to the rocket. You will not even be, you will be below the submarine. Because planets, in which houses they are posited, are very important. And the way they are posited in the horoscope, same effect they will give when they come in the dasha. So when Ketu came, thing went awry, helter-skelter, thrown out of gear. One runs from pillar to post. If one is able to find a good astrologer is not one who knows the subject, but the one who can give you remedy to get out of the bad situation. That is a good astrologer. Then that person can create a Buddha-like situation, a Buddha Mahadasha-like situation. You will be rid of misery, you will be in happiness, you'll be a gainer, and you'll feel good. So now you have an example of time being brought backward. It is possible. Any adverse dasha, mahadasha, antardasha, pratyantardasha can be rolled back to a favorable time zone if you have the natal experience, anecdotal experience. You are only if you know what a previous dasha was, how good it was, how beneficial you were. Obviously, one dasha cannot give you all the good things. One planet cannot give you all the good things. There may be something bad, something negative, but we have to decide overall. If you have 10 parameters, out of which if 6 or 7 are fulfilled, the rest 3 or 4 don't matter. Because these which are fulfilled can overrule those adversities. So time can be moved backwards. The grammar of Jyotisha Shastra. In Lal Kitab, the grammar of the science is very important. Which house? There you have got Khana. Khana number 1, Khana number 2, Khana number 3. And let me clear some cobwebs about Lal Kitab because I have been studying it from 2007. I am still studying. It's fantastic. The original writer, Rupchand Joshi, was not a Muslim. There are a lot of people who bring tags. Not that it matters. We have people like Bismillah Khan Sahib, Vilayat Khan Sahib, and Zakir Hussain. The caste, creed, religion doesn't matter in science, in knowledge. But there is an idea to dump it as something which is into mystery and shrouded there. It is not. Rupchand Joshi had intuition. He named it Lal Kitab because he was a disciple or a devotee of Lord Hanuman. He was not able to read and write, so he used to give notes to his senior accountant in the army, who documented it. And the principles of Lal Kitab are like axioms in geometry. They will never change. Anything else can change, but principles will not change. And they analyze planets the way they are. No unwanted attributes, no unwanted reverence. If Saturn, the planet of the day, is to analyze as per Lal Kitab, here we talk about negativities of Saturn, how he brings down even a king like Vikramaditya or Harishchandra, and how he is a big taskmaster. He requires discipline. These are all good. But Lal Kitab says Saturn will never harm a pregnant woman. Pregnant women will be never touched by Saturn, whatever be the case. Is it not a very big relief? So the characteristics of planets are analyzed bluntly as per their actions, not as per attributes. So whether it is Vedic Jyotish, Lal Kitab Jyotish, Eastern India, Western India, whatever, when you take use of Jyotisha Shastra, to the extent it is required to give remedy. No, other things one can study. Speculation, prediction and all that is a lifelong process. You are a Vidyarthi. We are all Vidyarthis. Shankaracharya, Adi Shankaracharya said, Pibeham Vidyarthi to Mother Goddess Lalita Ambika and Saundra Lahari. And His Holiness is saying Vidyarthi. So where are we? Similarly, he said, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam, Bhaja Mudamate. Here he is asking himself that you are a big fool. He is not telling others are big fools. There is a way of expression. Now for this time and Jyotisha Shastra. Devrishi, are we overshooting time? How much time is gone?
We can continue, sir.
Oh, no, how many minutes have gone?
We are about to reach an hour of the discussion.
My God, you gave me only 30 minutes.
It's fine, sir. It's fine. It's fine. We're listening.
I'll finish. Now, for the Jyotisha Vidya and the time to succeed in our mission, we require a superior power. Superior power. Because energy without consciousness is devastating. It will not lead you anywhere. Consciousness without energy is placid. Placid. It cannot work. It is fully conscious. It knows this is right, this is wrong, this is how to do. But there are no instruments in the hand. There are people who say, had I done like this, I would have generated so much of sales and the company would have gone to a profit and we would have been number one today. But you didn't have the strategy to execute it. You're lost. And here is somebody who is making insider trading and all practices, mall practice or whatever, without that consciousness of ethics. That's also very bad. Doesn't lead you anywhere. So you require energy, you require consciousness to succeed. And Mother Kali is an amalgamation of both of them. Kali is a university. And the university embraces every kind of school within itself. In the Baglamukhi Rahasyam, it's beautifully said that the moment a devotee says, I am going to do Baglamukhi Purascharan, I am going to do, say, X 1 lakh avarti in 40 days. The moment he says, Mother Kali comes to help him to get Siddhi. There is a connection. He has not even done it. He has only done Sankalpa. But in order to remove all negativities, in order to usher conducive environment for him, Mother Kali comes, stands, helps him do the sadhana. Wherever the devotee is wrong, she will give him very appropriate punishment. This is one thing in Kali Vidya. The punishment is immediate, no carry forward, no EMIs. You do something good, immediately she gives like this, and you do something wrong or funny, she slaps you. And those slaps are very difficult to take because where you will go and fall, we don't know. But Kali has no mediocrity. Kali has not got Shanai, Aista, step by step. No. She will either lift or put it on the drain. Depends upon how you approach it. But getting beaten up from Kali is also very auspicious. Because unless we are beaten, unless we are punished, how can that very big sheath of kukarma, which we have been inhabiting all these years, we are indifferent. Soft and somber voice may not work many times. But then, when you enter Kali Vidya, when you enter her dominion, when you enter her area, and a Kali Sadhaka has nothing to do in the day, everything is by night. Because she is Nindra Devi. She is goddess of sleep. So the minimum one expects is you forsake your sleep at least for a couple of hours, a bit sleep here and there, manage with 3-4 hours of sleep, but do sadhana in the night, maybe late, may not be very late, could be a tolerable limit because everybody has got work the next day, office is there, profession is there. But when you do good sadhana, even 2 hours of sleep is enough because she will stand by you. And when she is standing by you, what do you require? Whatever deficiencies we have, she makes it up. Because how Kali is so empathetic. How you can trust upon her. Now here when I am saying this, I am only focusing on Kali. I am not making any remarks about other deities. They are all there in their place, superior. Namaskar to all of them. But I am choosing Kali. She is the target of our discussion. Number one, she is residing in the crematorium, the Smashana Bhumi, where everything is defiled. When she is residing there, she takes so much of karmic residual waste, because when dead bodies are burnt, not every dead body has finished his karma. Jivan muktas are very few and far. Mass is only dead body. It's a body which is going. It was born on particular date and it is ended on particular date. Many of us even don't know why we were born. What is the purpose? For what purpose we exist? And every time we are given a different identity. In childhood, the parents gave us the name. Then they put you in a school. Then when people used to say, "What are you?" I am studying in St. John's. I am studying in St. Joseph's, class 5, class 6. When you finish 12th, then you say, "Yes, I am a graduate." Then I am a chartered accountant. I am an aerospace engineer. I am this. I am that. Then Naukri, awards, big awards. But what happens when you go to sleep? Somebody asks you, "What is your identity now?" Can you say, "I'm a sleeper. I'm going to sleep"? In sleep, we have no identity. That is why majority of miracles happen when people sleep. Because they don't know anything. They are innocent. They have come out of all their conditionings. They have no preconceived notions. And in sleep, we are all helpless also because we don't know what may happen. We don't know whether we are going to get up the next morning. And night is very scary. Generally, people who are frightened, they get scared only in the night because night means darkness. And in darkness, the Devi who recites Ratri Suktam is Mother Kali. But there is nothing to be afraid of her. She is not a demoness. She is not going to destroy us. She is not going to do any harm. Yes, what she is going to destroy is our bad karmas, our kusamskaras. Because she wants to make us perfect and she wants us to achieve all the great things of life. Therefore, when you take Kali, time and Jyotisha Vidya in a single linear plane, you may worship any deity of your choice. That is all individual. But when you bring time, time is Kal. And Kal is lying below her lotus feet. She is controlling Kal. So don't you think it's very advantageous for you to call her mother? Please come and take care of my time. I can at least get relief. So when you go to her, it is like when the cow is going on being non-manageable, unmanageable. You take the calf, the cow will follow. You put a little finger in the calf's mouth, the calf will come, the cow will come. That is why always a cow and a calf are shown together. The cow by itself, it can't do anything. It can go mad. Similarly, Mother Kali and Kala, one follows the other. When Kali walks in, Kala has to follow. That is why when we do Kali Puja, in the Sankalpa we say, please, O Mother, let sun, moon, Yama and Kala be my friends. We ask for their friendship. Sun, Surjo, Chandra, Kal, Yam. They are not one and the same. Kal decides death, Yama executes death. Yama has no decision-making power. He just follows what orders are given to him. But because of the grace of Kali, if Surya, Chandra, Yama and Kal become conducive, till the time, not that we are going to live eternally, but till the time we are alive, we are able to get our things done. We are able to live for yourself. You are able to live for others. You are able to help out others in the real sense. Be friendly to them. Bring cheer in their face. Bring cheer in their life. That is the purpose of life. Living for oneself, eating, sleeping, and merry, that everybody does. Even if you have done some bit of morale up, morale is very important. Without morale, one is dead. When the Mahabharata war was fought, the Pandava Sena was on the one side, the Kaurava Sena was on the other side. And Duryodhana was walking up and down, pacing. So all the elders asked, what happened, Duryodhana? He said, somehow I feel that we will lose this battle. We will not win this battle. They said, all great Yodhas, Bhishma Pitama is there, Ashwathama is there, Dronacharya is there. We are all with you. He said, no, still I find the Pandavas, there is something special. They will only win the battle. Similarly, the morale, Duryodhana had very weak morale because of bad karma. Lack of righteousness. If we are in the right path, if we are in the right hand-holding deity with us, we can have our Ishta Devata, we can have other Devatas, we can also have Mother Kali. She has never said that you leave others and come to me. She is one refuge. You can always have others also, but there should be compatibility. One should not clash with each other. Thereby, we would have lived the purpose of life and we could have lived a very fulfilling, happy life. I think I overshot time. I leave at this. And I'm sorry, this topic is so enticing that I forgot 30 minutes has passed.
No, so
Thank you.
we're actually waiting for more. But anyways, we'll have you again because this is something that has been left incomplete for all of us. So we'll have you again, maybe on during Navaratri when we doing the 9 nights of the goddess, because
Sure.
obviously you have your puja tomorrow, beginning on the Navaratri. I'll just open the stage for questions and answers as we had promised all our viewers. We have two questions coming in from Ruchika ji. Number one, she has asked, what sadhana or puja will you suggest for Ma Kali? Is there anything that common people like us can do? Because there is a lot of misconceptions associated with Kali worship, that okay,
Yes.
only sadhakas are permitted to worship her, or worshipping her can be dangerous.
Yes.
That is the first question that she has. I'll also read out her second question. Maybe you can give a combined answer. Maybe you can answer them separately also. So the second question that she is asking is, how can she build her connect with Ma Kali, where she can experience her grace every moment of her life? So is there some bija mantra that you would suggest, or anything that could help her to understand or to get into the dimension that would experience her, that would enable her to experience her grace?
Very good. Two things I want to mention, because if you are really, if you are to be helped, the answer has to be honest. For Kali sadhana, always remember, if you are wearing any gem, ratna, whatever it be. It may be for one particular planet, X or Y. Whether that planet has got cordial relationship with the planet which is subservient to Mother Kali, you have to check out first. And also see its placement in your horoscope. Why I'm saying is, many people do sadhana for years together, and in the end they say, I have done this for so many years, I have not got anything. Why one has not got is, if you have a filter which blocks the connect between you and the chosen deity, that can be very dangerous or harmful. It will be without effect. Therefore, it is better not to wear any gemstone when you are attempting Kali sadhana, because the planet which is connected with Ma Kali is Saturn. And Saturn responds to a person wherever one calls, but in different ways. May not be in good terms all the time. But the difference between calling a planet and calling the deity is that the planet is above us, below the deity. Is a demigod. The deity is supreme. If the deity wants to help you, nothing can stop you. Therefore, don't wear any gem to start with. The easiest way to invoke Mother Kali, leave all this misconception that you have to go to the smashan and you'll have to do Kala Jadoo. It's all unwanted detail. Any man or woman, even a child, can worship Mother Kali. In Vatsalya Bhava, you become the child of the goddess. Then 50% of your responsibility is gone because she will take care of you. Then the time is always after sunset, because daytime the mother is not going to respond. Her activity time is after Sandhya, late into the night. But in the beginning, you don't have to do late into the night. 6 to 9 or 6 to 10 is a good time. Number 3, what is the mantra? Because there are Bija mantras, there are Damar mantras, there are different mantras. But choose a mantra which is safe and authentic, which will not do you any harm. So that way the best is when you take the Argala Stotram, the first mantra, Jayanti Mangala Kali, Vadra Kali Kapalini, Durga Kshama Shiva Dhatri Swaha Sada Namostate. Kali Mother gets pleased by this 2-line couplet. You can start in the beginning 54 avartis. We don't have to do overkill. Start with 54 times. Count it in whatever means Karamala. Don't go to big malas like Rudraksha and all that. The finger mala is the best mala for beginners. Keep a red asan, no other color. Preferably sit facing eastern side. Though the Mother Kali sits facing the south, Dakshina Kali, we don't have to do that. Her purpose is different. You face towards east, keep a lal asan, and please remember those 54 avartis when you do, nothing should stop you from the mantra. No phones, no SMS, no WhatsApp. Keep your phone aside, because Kali tests devotion. She gets pleased when you are devoted. She is not pleased with a lot of fruits and sweets and meat and all that. No. And preferably a diya is lit. It is better. Agarbatti is there, it is okay. But these are not important. Because in the smashan, the mother is there. When you neither had a bath, nor you had a diya, nor you had anything, but you are praying to the mother. So always start this japa karma to a minimum scale. Because on day 1, if you do 100 things, you can't follow it on day 2. And it should fit to your life schedule. You may have family life, husband, wife, children, others, you have to cater. So if you say, no, I will do my puja, you all take care, not a good sign. Ultimately, the purpose of a good jap, a good puja is when you share with your family. That's the first unit. Family is the beginning. Your spiritual endeavor should contribute to the family rather than disturbing your life. If you have anything else.
I ask, I request anyone. Okay, Rajendra ji has put this question. While doing Kali Sadhana, can we continue doing other Graha Devata remedies, especially Saturn remedies?
Of course, yes. That can go on. No problems. But the Kali Sadhana should be done to the rule, which I said just now.
And just for the information of everyone, Sir's Sir's wife, Sri Bhanuvati Vishwanath ji, she has a very beautiful rendition of the Kali Chalisa. So I'll share that with for the benefit of everyone in the group. And I would request her to join our this discussion group so that we can all benefit from from his immense knowledge.
You want that YouTube link?
I have it, sir. I have it. I'll provide it to everyone. Just one question from my side, sir. You had said that the mother will also hit you if something is done in a wrong way. So I've seen that happen to people. I've seen a Purohit getting thrown apart. Getting thrown apart from at a distance because he had done something wrong. Maybe he was not experienced, or maybe his intentions were not correct. So that hitting also contributes to the burning of karma, because you have said that Kali dissolves all the karmas that we have.
Yes.
It
yes.
does, right? It does.
In fact, the more it's not purposeful, but if the mother gets angry and punishes a person, that much of karma is gone away.
Right.
Minus.
Right.
Because unless that karma came, you would not have done that kind of an act.
Right. So. And regarding the Bija mantra for Ma Kali, so do you, because in my experience, what I have experienced is that Kleem is relatively safer as compared to cream or chrome. So do you also recommend that, sir?
Sorry, compare.
In with regards to Bija mantra for Mother Kali, in my experience, what I have experienced is that Kleem, the Bija mantra Kleem is Kleem because
Kleem with a lakar.
Sorry, sir.
Kleem with a lakar. That is
right.
La.
Right. Lakar, yes. So that is relatively safer as compared to chrome or cream, because that is something that I have experienced. Do you also recommend the same thing?
It's very interesting. You are very right, but I will share one small detail in between. Cream, Kara,
right,
is for Dakshina Kali.
Okay.
And other Kalis. Kala, Kleem, is for Smashana Kali.
Okay.
You understand?
I do.
Though on the face of it, cream looks more infuriated and Kleem looks more Saumya. But actually, Smashana Kali, the Bija mantra is Lakar, Kleem.
Okay.
Because Smashana is the ultimate receiver. Where will you go after that? It is the final destiny. That is why there is no hitting back in this. But the difference between the two, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa had a siddhi of Dakshina Kali. Dakshina Kali, the most notable feature is the khadga is in the left hand.
Right.
Sword. And the foot which is there on Lord Shiva is the right foot. Left hand is the khadga, right foot is on Lord Shiva. Ma Sharda Devi had siddhi of Smashana Kali. There, the khadga is the right hand and the left foot is on Lord Shiva. So that sadhana is something which takes you to a very different level. You would have studied the life of both Sharda Ma and Ram Thakur. Thakur used to call Ma Sharda that she is the incarnation of Ma Kali herself, Divine Mother.
Yes.
So your opinion is absolutely correct. But then to practice Kleem, several safeguards have to be there.
Yeah.
Okay. Because it is, at the face of it, looks very friendly, but lifeguards have to be on your sides.
Right. There's another one question from Dr. Subro Saab. He is actually a resident of Kolkata. And even Ruchika ji is
He's
a
a-
resident of
sorry?
Kolkata. He is a resident of Kolkata. Even Ruchika ji is a resident of Kolkata.
Yes, yes.
So Subroji has asked, can Ma Kali sadhana also be done by reciting Dakshina Kali Stotra or Adya Stotra? Is it possible? for
Yes,
that?
yes, yes.
It can be done, right?
Any stotra. In fact, this Jayanti Mangala Kali is also a stotra only, Argala Stotra.
Right, right, sir. Right.
Because the path is like this. In the beginning, when the devotee starts, it is better to start with a stotra.
Mhm.
As the devotee progresses and establishes a connect with the mother, then it is better to approach a Bija Mantra.
Okay.
And which Bija Mantra will suit a person will depend upon the Guru, the person, and the deity.
Okay.
Because in Kali Sadhana, invariably there is a need for a Guru. Because if you go astray, go into a different path, somebody has to pull you out.
And that is the Guru.
That the Guru can do.
Right.
Otherwise, what happens is you are exposed to everything yourself.
Hmm.
So that is the difference.
Okay, sir. Okay. All right then, sir. I don't think we have any questions, but what I do promise everyone out here is that we will have sir every week, possibly for that is for quenching our thirst, because sir is this well of abundance where we can just go and drink a glass of water every day. So that is sir's knowledge and sir's grace for all of us. Okay, one question, sir. Ruchika ji has again asked, if we don't have a guru, can we do the prescribed can we do sadhana in the way that has been prescribed by you? Because we are not venturing into anything adventurous. So it's a very simple sadhana that you have recommended.
See, Mother Dakshina Kali, let me tell you one thing. Mother Dakshina Kali or Kali is herself Guru Rupini.
Okay.
See, there is no point to choose one's Guru or make one's Guru. This is not a computer program. Guru, if you want to take somebody as Guru, it has to come from inside.
Yes.
Guruship is not an organized business. I mean, one should be avoid that, because if you pay a gate fee and then you'll be given diksha, I am not a believer in all that. It doesn't work.
Right. It has become that way, sir, nowadays.
That,
maybe the impression of Kali Yuga, but it has become
Yes.
that way nowadays.
So the only way to beat this Kali Yuga is to take Kali's lotus feet.
Right.
If you don't have a guru, doesn't matter. Put Ma Kali's chitra. If you can put a small photograph, but only Dakshina Kali, not Smashana Kali. That is why I told you the difference between the two, because photographs are there in the market. It will be given and one will not even know.
Yes, yes, yes.
So if you can put a Dakshina Kali chitra or a Mahakali chitra and do this simple exercise, because it is there in the Chandi. It is most authentic. And it is part of the Argala Stotram. And Argala is very important. So
Right.
for those people who don't get sleep, who have insomnia problem, Vishweshwarim Jagat Dhatrim Sthiti Samhara Karinim Nindram Bhagavatim Vishnu Ratulam Tejasa Prabhu. This is from Ratri Suktam.
Somratri Suktam, right, sir? Okay, so that can
But
be
this is more popular.
That can actually
Sorry?
be a remedy for for most of the astrologers, because they will frequently find clients who have erratic sleeping patterns or who have insomnia problems.
Yes.
Yes, sir. And Ruchika ji has another question. You must be familiar with Sri M, because he was.
Yes, yes.
Yes, he was a.
Master Mahashaya, yes, yes.
Yes. So what she has asked is, he actually sings a mantra very frequently. Om
Sorry?
Klim Kalikaya Namah, Om Kapalini Namah. So this is
Hmm.
something that he sings very, very frequently. And Ruchika ji, as far as I know, she is very much influenced by Sri M. So would it be possible for you, sir, to just explain this mantra in brief in a few words? If it's possible for you, sir.
Yeah, but what was the first line?
It is just a minute.
Om.
Om Krim Kalikaya Namah.
Cream.
Krim. Ra.
Ka, na?
Ra.
No, Ka and Ra.
Yes, sir. Ka and Ra. Kra. Om
I am
Krim
used to this.
Kalikaya Namah. Om Kapalini Namah.
See, cream is Kali Bija. So cream Kalikai Nama always goes with her name, and that is Mother Dakshina Kali. Okay. Kapalini has a very different meaning. Kapalini means the one who writes your fortune.
Yes.
Takdeer.
Yes.
तस्वीर बनाता हूं मैं, तकदीर नहीं बनती. There was a song, Talat Mahmud. But यहाँ तकदीर बनाने वाली माँ काली. She writes one's destiny. That is why time and kala run behind her. I told you just now. So Master Mahashaya, who wrote the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, Katha Amrita, he was a very profound disciple and a great devotee. And what he wrote in this has got the same meaning. That Kapalini means she is the one who rewrites your Kapal. Not writes, she rewrites. Because she gives the devotee an opportunity to improve he or she for a better living. Because with one Kapal, we all took birth, that is our horoscope, yes, natal chart. But if you do Kali Sadhana, your Kapal can be changed, she can rewrite. It is like an amendment to the constitution, which only the parliament can do it.
Well explained, sir. Well explained. Very well explained.
How you can, people may say how it is possible. She is the original writer, so she has got the power, the copyright to rewrite.
Right, right.
And she can rewrite several times. That is why you live several janmas in one bodily janma by regularly worshipping her and reaching closer to her, because she lifts you every time and gets rid of several bands of karma. Then your life improves.
Correct. And that getting rid of karma can be very painful, sir. That is the reason why people are afraid of Kali, isn't it?
Yes, but then it's like a cancerous operation. Unless you open,
yes,
you cannot see the worms.
Yes, yes, yes. That is absolutely true.
But when you open, what you saw in the ultrasound or MRI or X-ray would be different. Here it would be much different. We are all used to cancer operations which have been done for 2 days, 3 days, because people didn't expect when they opened the part of the body. Similarly, when you approach Kali, the funniest part is she is such a magnanimous heart that we ask for 1 inch, she will open the entire system and clean it. But that cleaning will be a bit painful. We have to bear with it.
Right.
But it's for our good.
Right. And so one more question from Dr. Subro Saab. He is saying that is it true that worshipping Dakshina Kali can take care of all the planetary afflictions that we have in the horoscope?
Absolutely.
I think we have you have answered it, because
absolutely, but
because as you had said, she is Kapalini.
Yes.
Yes. And the other thing is that he's asking one more thing. Is it true that if someone gets a diksha of a Shakti mantra, say a Ma Kali mantra, he or she has to face a lot of hurdles, because initially the soul finds it difficult to settle with the deities? This is a common thought, isn't it, sir? That okay, if you have taken a diksha of a Ugra Devata like Kali or maybe Chamunda, it brings hurdles in your life. But most, in my opinion, those hurdles are because the karma is getting burnt down very quickly.
Absolutely. Yes. These are not fresh hurdles. They are not new hurdles. They are only throwing up your existing hurdles outside so that you can finish it off.
Right.
At the moment, they are lying latent. Chupa hua hai. It is like in your house, when you start cleaning, suddenly you find that all insects and worms coming from.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And that process can be very, very painful. Even who has done a thorough cleaning of the house, maybe after several years. Yes, obviously.
So that is why the mantra sadhana is very important, because when the cleaning starts, you have the physical and the mental power to withstand it, because it is an operation that you are doing with the help of somebody or the deity.
Right. All right, sir. So that means we have come to the end of the question and answer session. Anyways, it was very, very nice and very, very kind of you that you agreed to have this conference with all of us. And I think everyone would agree that we have been left with a very incomplete discussion. So we'll be hosting you again, sir, next week. And you can also maybe invite a few of your friends who have been your colleagues and who have been your co-patriots in your spiritual journey. So hopefully we'll have another session next week. So it's my promise to everyone who has joined, and I hope everyone has benefited. Everyone has enjoyed this session just like I have enjoyed. The recordings would be available on YouTube on tomorrow, because that was Sir's wish that it should be available on Navaratra. And yes, sir, I really thank you from the bottom of my heart for coming to this channel and sharing some part of your wisdom. As I said, Sir's knowledge is like the ocean. We can just drink one cup, which we have done today. So maybe Sir will give us the opportunity to drink more cups from his ocean of knowledge. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining. Thank you, sir. Really nice.
You,
Namaste.
In your affection towards me, you have exaggerated some of my qualities. So I would request people to put some kind of a.
No, sir is actually very humble, because we do not, you will not know the person unless and until you have spent time with him. And if someone spends time, even a little bit of time with sir, he or she will actually be left with, he would be left with tears in his or her eyes, because I've experienced this myself, and I'll not be exaggerating here, because it may be my past karma that I have got the opportunity to spend time with a lot of siddhas, especially Ma Kali sadhakas. So that is also Ma Kali's grace that she actually made this possible to spend some time, some part of my life with her. Anyways, thank you everyone for joining, and thank you, sir. Hopefully we'll see you again next week, and hopefully we will have a bigger crowd.
Sure.
All right. Thank you, everyone. I'll be ending the meeting for now. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Namaste. Namaste, everyone. Jai Ma.
Jai Ma.